What's something old technology did better than modern technology? I miss double-clicking on a computer program to use it, and it opens, and is usable and is always ready. Now it's all login, open password manager, two-factor, cell phone for a code, forced update program again the second time in a week, hit you with 5 pop-ups about some BS. You buy it, you own it, no subscription, no updates, no terms of service, no advertising, no tracking, no data collection. Also, stuff that had a physical on-off switch, you turned it on and it was ready to rock. Right now, when you're done you turn it off and it's dead, not sleeping, not dormant and listening to your conversations. Example, games consoles, whack the cartridge in, power it on, bam. You're playing the game. Done with it? Switch it off, done. Car user interfaces, buttons are better than touchscreens. Washing machines. All these BS sensors and computer parts and the thing constantly break down. What I wouldn't give for my family's old 90s washing machine. Turn knob, push in, buzz when done, clothes always came out great. All we ever had to do was change the belt once in a while. Ownership versus subscription. Not just in software, so many things today require an ongoing subscription to work/operate. It used to be if you bought something, software or hardware, you owned it and could install, uninstall, move and use it how you wanted. Now features stop working, or you can't use it or access your data if you don't pay for a subscription. This includes things like car features, BMW seat heaters, Photoshop, and more. Life is about paying rent rather than owning an asset, so you never build value, just debt. Anything that was replaced by SharePoint was better than the SharePoint replacement IMO. Want ad classifieds in the Sunday newspaper. If you were looking for a job you just purchased the Sunday paper, most times there were enough grocery coupons that it was free to buy. Yes, it was slower, but it seems it was much easier to find a job than it does nowadays. Passenger trains in North America. Arguably physical books still work better than ebooks and such. Nothing quite like being able to just put your finger on a page, flip forward to maybe some illustrations or some other page in the rest of the book, saving your place, and then going right back with a flick of the finger. On an ebook this can be fairly troublesome to do. You can't just flip pages and visually see where you're headed per se. There are other aspects of a physical book that outshine ebooks in terms of appreciating your progress, identifying sections of the book, etc. A lot of that requires you to clumsily work with the e-reader interface to achieve the same results. Preserve human connection. In the 80s, parties were planned and discovered on the fly, without being connected by anything other than in-person conversations. It knew its place and didn't constantly annoy with intrusive notifications, warnings, sounds, and ads. Schools. Our education system produced astronauts, engineers, scientists, poets, writers, historians, etc. With modern technology, reading comprehension is going down, illiteracy is going up. Problem solving, critical thinking is going down. Some nations are looking to bring books back to the classroom and reduce screen time. Turns out humans learn best from humans, and even a live chat inhibits that transfer of knowledge and education. Asterisk, old phones had one job and actually did it. Now mine needs an update just to annoy me properly. Asterisk. Landline phones. Why do we put up with crappy sound quality and disconnects when we are in our own homes? Old phones had one job. Call people. Now mine does everything except let me ignore calls in peace. Newspapers worked a lot harder to report the news correctly. Sources, grammatical editing, and a bit more integrity. I'm not saying they weren't wrong or biased, but they tried a lot harder than the drivel that posted every second on the internet. Appliances. They no longer last 20 to 30 years like they used to. Cars without complicated computers. Sharpen a pencil. Today's sharpeners are garbage. Ownership. You used to actually own the things you bought. If you bought a piece of tech, it was yours forever. WordPerfect was perfect. On the computing side, old tech managed resources _way _better. Sure, some of why a modern application sucks down RAM and CPU time and storage and bandwidth is because it's genuinely doing more stuff, even if that stuff isn't always immediately apparent. but a_lot_ of it is just that companies do not give a single fuck about customer resources unless they can see it in the bottom line. No one will let programmers spend time on resource management without it getting absolutely horribly bad. That I have machines that are literally hundreds of times faster, have 1000x more RAM, and internet that's 17,000x faster than when I was first online. Yet simple web pages still take multiple seconds to load if I don't block all the stupid tracking tech. Excel takes longer to start on my current high-end work laptop than it did 15 years ago. It isn't doing that much more, I promise. All the controls in a car. Like literally all of them. Make the radio louder, turn the knob. Want it colder on the AC, turn the knob. Want the vents open, move the little sliders. And all of this can be done with muscle memory and never looking at any of it. Modern touchscreen crap is awful, distracting and less effective. I would pay extra for a new car with 100% old-style controls. Software made better use of your hardware resources. Office, Visual Studio, or Photoshop back in the late 90s/early 2000s used only the resources it needed, and the developers used tricks to make it so you could access the software as quickly as possible. In Visual Studio 6 you could be writing code from a cold start click of the icon in less than a second, as the developers moved a lot of startup tasks to the background so you could be productive immediately. The latest version of Visual Studio takes several seconds as nobody thinks that level of optimization is needed anymore. People keep referring to vibe coders producing AI slop, but the reality is a lot of developers have been producing slop for around 20 years. Old washing machines are so much better than new ones. I have to wash my comforter 2 or 3 times to get it clean because my new washer, which is advertised as able to wash comforters and rugs, never adds enough water to the machine. Give me one from the 90s with 2 buttons back, please. Old technologies laid the groundwork for new ones. Gas cans, the new safety ones, are garbage. Not requiring a goddamn subscription to use. Not going very far back, but voice commands on my phone. Previously, set a reminder for 9 p.m. would set a reminder for 9 p.m. Play song X on Spotify * would play that song on Spotify. Now, it finds my Gemini search results for those phrases. It's an extremely unhelpful change. Touch screens replaced tactile buttons. This was often a downgrade. Practical effects in movies were way cooler than CGI. CRT's WRT response times. In terms of software, I would say the older idea that simple is smart. It's kind of a lost concept. I see a lot of business software where there's 5 different ways to do one simple thing, and man, does that take a lot more time to learn and navigate. That just because you're capable of designing a complex UI and system doesn't mean it's a good idea. Things were designed to be reparable and serviceable. The ownership of your computer life, you had music and all the software you needed locally, and the internet was for chat and reading information. Now it feels like your whole computer life is online and the entire ecosystem is set up to watch and monetize your behavior. The durability of older tech. Back in the day, or the original Game Boy, I watch a girl threaten to use her purse to hit a guy harassing her. She spun her purse around like she was trying to really smash him. He really had it coming if she had. Her had not zipped it closed and her Game Boy went flying out. It went a good 20 feet into the air and came back down on paved ground. Only issue with it was the corner that hit the ground had some nasty scuffs. No screen damage, sound still worked, nothing besides some scratches. Nowadays there is a chance if you drop your phone 3 inches that the screen is going to shatter or otherwise die.